Good morning and welcome to Morning Marches with WriterGreg on Twitch.tv. Glad that you could make it and glad to see people in the chat already and raring to go for a week extended double edition of Morning Marches. We are going to be going from now for the next 3 hours of writing sprints, and I'm glad that you made it, Walking Dead lover. Thank you so much for getting here. And also to Moonflower Writer for including donating to the 1 million lemon challenge, where we are collecting 1 million lemons to have a 24-hour end of NaNoWriMo stream. So glad that thank you so much for that. So, and glad to have everyone here, and yeah, this is good. So I nearly missed my alarm, so I'm glad I made it too. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't miss my alarm because it's Saturday and my office door is open, the window is open, and we may have a visitor from a pupper because I can't ask my loving family, who are all asleep, to watch the dog to make sure it doesn't interrupt the stream. So who knows? We may have visitors, we may not. This is the weekend. Almost anything goes. All right. So I neglected to pick out something to talk about this morning because I was trying to find a new timer for our sprints, because the sprint timer that I have hasn't been working really well because it double alarms, and yep, doing some stretching, ready for sprints. Yeah, we'll use this one because this is hilarious. For me, this is hilarious for me. So remember, when life hands you melons, you need a proofreader. Today, with Morning Marches and what I've been doing for this week has been writing the news story of the Celestials' condescension and plotting that out. However, I am kind of behind in the edits that I need to do for the the Runaways return. And so today, I just love this thing. It's just so appropriate for this channel. So for today, I am actually going to be working on edits to the Runaways return and hopefully getting a scene or two farther along. Still a lot of editing work to do, so it's kind of crazy where I have 6 shows dedicated to marches and writing sprints, but I only have 2 that are to editing, when that probably should be the reverse, because writing the first draft is fun, it's exciting, and you're moving forward, you're getting a lot of pages, those word counts are awesome. But the first draft is not the draft that is really the one that is going out there. It's for you. The first draft is for you. The second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, that's for the reader. And so I may start editing a lot more during the morning marches so I can get fiction out there. Because as much as I enjoy writing the fiction, I kind of like it more when people read it. So, good morning, Songbird. Welcome to the Morning Marches, Weekend Edition. And so thank you so much for coming. This is going to be, like I said, a double edition. I have alarms set up for the first half, and because I set it up for all of the others. I don't have them set up for the second. I'm looking for a better Pomodoro timer. I ran out of time this morning trying to find one that I like. So it's just going to be interesting. So thank you. I'm glad to have you here live as well. And it's going to be good. I actually have 10 more minutes before the first sprint of the day as we let people join into it. So remember, when life hands you melons, you need a proofreader. Yeah, it's nice to know that. And I'm going to drag that to my used on Twitch folder. I actually used that one too. Can't use that one. So I have 274 memes already lined up, and that doesn't even include the ones that are on my phone. All right. The puppy is good. The office door is open. The window is open, and so if it sounds like I'm talking a little quieter, it's because I am, because I usually hand the dog off to my wife when she wakes up in the morning, and it's okay for her to wake up at 5:30 or 5:25 to be exact, when I'm about to start the stream. But I do not inflict that upon anyone on the weekend. So I'm hoping that Mr. Puppers is doing okay. He's in, I think, the back room where the window is open. I just found out that the word etude is actually word meaning fullness. I thought it was just randomly typing letters, managing to come up with a made-up word as a name for my vampiric empire. Etude. Yeah, and that's an important thing to do, is Google your words. Just see what they mean, especially your made-up ones. But etude, I mean, fullness, that's their objective, is it not? To get full blood. But vampires aren't insatiably hungry. Well, it depends if you're using Victorian vampires, because that was a lot of subcontext of repression. So maybe that might be appropriate. But yeah, Google your made-up words. See what comes out there. I've had band names come back. I've had weird stuff. Yeah. So, do you like what you've heard? You know, you can redefine a word. Unfortunately, I don't like redefining words, but it can happen. Okay. So this is okay. So think about what you're going to be working on today. Maybe you can take the next 5 minutes or so to think about what you're going to be working on this morning. It could be writing sprints. It could be plotting. It could be editing. It could be research. Though research is a difficult thing because you don't want to get sucked into a black hole. Songbird, I spent yesterday at a local museum and have so much world building inspiration. Wonderful. Word vomit, aka warming up. All right. Let's try to get comfortable on this squeaky office chair. All right. So, I told you what I am doing. And, yeah. I did start working on this Thursday night. I made a lot of progress. Oh, Laura Bones, welcome. I do want to let you know about my YouTube channel. I don't have. Oh no! Did somebody else take that? I hope not. Dang it. Okay, so if I go writer, see, this is why. Yeah. Okay, WriterGreg. I have 2 channels, as you can tell here. Is that I have 2 channels. The first channel is, of course, the WriterGreg. This is my primary channel, which probably doesn't have a lot. And then I have WriterGreg First Draft. The links to both of these are over there in the links down in the twitch.tv panels, the WriterGreg YouTube. This is my edited content, which I am going to be adding to, and then the WriterGreg First Draft is the location where I will be putting all of the live streams. So if you miss something and it's expired on Twitch, come on over to the YouTube WriterGreg First Drafts. I have multiple I have one playlist right now, but I will be adding many more playlists for morning marches, for evening edits, for World Building Wednesdays. Sure, Laura Bones, yes. I can. And so I will do this. No. Okay, we got 4 minutes to the sprint. 4 minutes to the sprint. I will open this up. I will go to here and I will look for Laura Bones. There we go. Okay, so this first one is WriterGreg YouTube. There we go. And then we have not playlists. I don't want the playlists. And then we have WriterGreg First Draft. I really liked that name. Draft. All right. There you go, Laura. Thank you so much for sharing those. Because as much as I love having the affiliate link, because on Twitch.tv, I would really like to get the ability to name my channel on YouTube, so that instead of just channel Garblygook here, I would be able to use WriterGreg, though I think, unfortunately, someone else may have taken that already. Yeah, because user WriterGreg doesn't have any content. I hate this when it happens. So, you do what you do. You do what you do. Okay, so I would love to have, yeah. Well, see, and that's why I have my two usernames that I use, that primarily WriterGreg. Yeah, stole your name and does nothing with it. And I've tried contacting people before, but it's just like, are you a domain? I mean, you're like a domain squatter. And yeah, and so like I have more domains than I can know what to do with, just to prevent people from taking the domains that I want. Yeah. But see, being a writer is not unique. Being named Greg, not unique either. And so it's not surprising. I mean, Songbird, that is a very unique thing. Moonflower Writer, Walking Dead Lover 987, that tells me that there might be 986 others, but you never know. So I've blathered on enough. I did it. All right. You'd be surprised. Oh, okay. Dismiss that. I had to add numbers at the end a few times. Oh, how many Laura Bones are out there on stuff? Really? Okay. That is. So I have WriterGreg, but then I have WriterGreg.com, meaning you had to be Laura Bones 79 on Twitter. Wow. Okay. That's surprising. All right. So let us get ready let's do the first sprint. And as I try to struggle to find the countdown timer, here we go. Okay, let us start that sprint. Turn the music up, microphone off, and see you in 10 minutes. All right, sprint is over. Let's turn the music down for a little bit. All right, there we go. How did everybody do? Songbird, 97 words. No worry, James. It's okay to sleep in at unheavenly early in the morning. Walking Dead Lover, 330 words. And welcome to World Anvil, and thank you so much for the host that came during the middle of the stream. Thank you so much for that. That is great. Laura Bones, you swept and mopped the kitchen floor. Awesome. Oh, just a second. The dog. No. All right, I'm paying my puppy tax. I talked too much about my little buddy without bringing him in, so we'll just take this little time. Oh, come on. Here, want some kibble? Here, have some. No, oh, you don't like kibble? Don't bug Mom. She's asleep. Coda. Yeah. Okay, yeah. All right, so thank you, Secondhand Samurai, for the donation of the lemons. Songbird, thank you for the donation of the lemons to the 1 million lemon challenge. Yep, I was paying the puppy tax, but he is not. He's going to be huge. He's going to be such a big dog. Okay, gonna skip the sprint. Don't want my kitties sharpening their claws again. That's why we have a dog. And Moonflower, somehow you did 240 words while making a lot of stub articles. I'm not sure how the word count works because of that stub article and the really long number of string. That might be included in a word counter, because sometimes I'm really surprised at the length of some of my articles, especially when I start linking art. Oh, but they're not counted. Never mind. Hey, don't be shocked of how well you did. Sometimes you just get in the zone and you can just get her done. It's good. Well, the links count as 2+ words. Fair enough. Okay, so we're going to be starting up another sprint here at the top of the hour in about 1 minute. So, you like my exclamation points here to mark where I was? All right, there we go. Dismiss, please dismiss. But the star articles I made, those words in those articles don't count. I don't know. This is the honor system. You report the words that you want to report. Yeah, but record them in the tracker. Okay, so with that, let us turn the music back up. Let us get this timer started again. And Gambate! Thank you for the lemons, Laura Bones. And there we go. Microphone off, and I will see you in 10.
very much alike.
Remember all the happy times we had.
Very much alike. All right. I'll tell you the truth.
there we have it. Another sprint done. All right, how'd everybody do? Let's see. Scribbler Society. Wow, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Scribblers, we definitely need, we are definitely scribblers around here, so very aptly named. Thank you so much for coming. Grammarly, yeah. I will be honest though, I have liked, I like your notif. I appreciate the save check. Everybody make sure that you save your words. Thanks to manuscripts on worldanvil.com, it automatically saves my work. So this is a good reminder to everyone to make sure you save your words. And James, I actually think Grammarly works better over here on manuscripts than it did when I was using Google Docs before. I don't know why. Technology, maybe the text of the tiny editor is more accessible. I like the notifications for following. Oh, yeah, okay. Nerd or Die Arcana. This is not a paid advertisement. It's just that I bought the Arcana package from Nerd or Die. So let's see. Yeah, poor bot. Thank you for the following. Welcome, Scribblers. Organizing articles. Oh, Dazzle Cat, welcome. Glad that you could make it. Organizing articles, good. I wonder if Walking Dead Lover is still cleaning. No, cleaning the floor if she moved to the counters. You know, sprint cleaning. Gotta love it for the weekend. All right, more stub articles. Save to backup. I can, yeah. There is the export feature. I need to see if the export feature works here. Okay, so I'm glad that everyone worked on it. We have 2 more minutes till the next sprint. Make sure that you take this, stretch. Posture check. All right, do your stretches. Oh, ow. I don't know if anyone has an aversion to the sound of cracking knuckles, but yeah, sorry. Bad habit. Okay, so, yeah. This edit is working really well for me, working on the motivation reaction units to helping me. Should we be hearing cracking spine too? No, I've tried really hard to stop cracking the spine. Siobhan, you made it. Welcome. You did 1,811 words 1,811 words last night. Good job. That is great. Yeah, well, welcome. Glad that you could make it. But this may be time for you to go to bed. I hope that you get the rest that you need. All right. Yeah, it is. Okay. It's fun to get to know the regulars that come to the stream and habits and stuff like that. This is a wonderful community. And thank you. Okay, dismiss. Oh, that's right. Feeding the kitties. That's right, Walking Dead Lover. Wow. Cracking every bone in your body because of the studies I've read that it shows it improves flexibility, mobility, and comfort with no long-term detriments. All right. I grew up in an era where it did. All right. So with that, let us start another sprint. Okay, we will turn the music up, microphones off, and yeah, crack everything. Yeah. It grosses my kids out. It's worth doing that. Microphones off, and I'll see you in 10. All right, how did everyone do? Welcome back. James Woodwright, 12. Proofreading work and adding context where needed. That is a very important edit pass to go through. 300 words on your article, 320 words by Moonflower. Great. I hope, Songbird, that you are getting all that inspiration from museums down on that paper. Dazzlecat finished sorting articles and editing a new one. Yeah. Hopefully, you're getting those stubs written. How long have I been streaming? I've been here about an hour. Or do you mean... Oh, you separated a cat fight. Yeah, I'll be here for 2 more hours. Yeah, it's 6:30, 7:30, yeah, 8:30. I'll be here for 2 more hours running these sprints. If you're asking how long have I been streaming in its entirety, probably a month and a half now. I love it when world building gives you inspiration to do tourism. Cats. The cat fights. Oh yeah, roughly July 1st. Yeah, with World Anvil Summer Camp. It was good stuff. Oh, great. Well, glad that you could make it. I'm gonna have to check out your stream after I'm done here. All right, so I almost finished this scene for my MRU pass. I still have, like, on my Trio board, Trello. It's not Trio, it's Trello. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 different paths to go through for every single scene that I go through. So I've already done some development edits. Let's move MRUs up a little bit. Yeah, moved them over here. My future scripts are all going to be natively in manuscripts, so that'll be fine. So yeah, character description, making sure my paragraphs are tip-top, meaning they're broken up correctly. Deep POV. I am using worldanvil.com, their Project Homer manuscripts to organize all my stuff, and I use World Anvil as a place to do all my stuff. Let's see. Yeah, love World Anvil. So here I have all of love World Anvil. So here I have all of love World Anvil. So here, yeah. But yeah, so I have all this stuff about my universe, my species, organizations, magic, plot idea, and I have short stories. Yeah, I forget that when I'm streaming live, it's embedded here. Yep, okay, there we go. Let's see. Do I have Saga Dorm? Saga Dorm as a command code? Yes. If you want to, Scribblers, if you want to look at my World Anvil world, you can take a look at that. But we got another sprint. No rest for the wicked, and the righteous don't need any. Or something like that. All right. I don't use Max. Some people like it. I don't. I personally prefer to have stuff online so that I'm not stuck to one computer or one device, because I can do this at my desktop, my laptop, my Chromebook, you know, anywhere I have a browser. And the community is awesome. That's all I can say. In fact, World Anvil is hosting me right now, I think, still. I don't know. But we got to get this sprint going. My evening sprints are more ask me any stuff, ask AMAs. We try to get the work done here. So, but we can talk more in 10 minutes as we get the thing going. So, all right. So, back to it. Track your words. Save your work. Music up. And microphones off. All right, pens down. Keyboards quiet. How'd everyone do? $231 words for Walking Dead lover, Moonflower Writer, setting up a manuscript for the story I'm working on. That's about it. Hey, laying the foundation is as important as building around on top of it. But then again, I'm a plotter. So, yeah. Finished editing articles and starting a new one. Oh, good job, Dazzlecat. Oh, good job. Hopefully, Scribblers, you're getting questions answered. None of your... Uh-oh. I need to ping Dimitri on the Discord server. Wonderful. But stay here for... All of the words are just gone. Is it going through an update? Never had this issue before. I don't know. Does he have an update schedule? James, 579 in total for a section to an existing article. Well done, sir. Well done. All right, yeah. So this scene that I'm working on, and forgive my yawning. I have not over 2 days. Oh, okay. Wow. Still, that's a long section. Ooh, sorry. My kids were watching movies late last night. Okay. So this scene that I'm working on has not been critiqued by others yet. The other ones have, so that they were easier to polish. This one I haven't really polished through before. A section on disasters and lockdowns, how my city copes with them. Very appropriate. You're seeing lots of different examples in the real world to draw inspiration from. Or lockdowns, disasters, or lack thereof, or whatever. Links with the Euclid editor kind of broken. Yeah, nitty-gritty details do take time. All right, well, let us jump into... Oh, heavens. Now I get the yawns. Maybe I need to breathe more deeply. Too many shallow breaths. All right. 5 minutes are up. Let's get this sprint on the road. Music up, microphones off, and I'll see you in 10. Alrighty. Pens down. Music lower. All right, everyone. How'd we do? 220. Wow. Writing drunk speech. Oh, good. Things are working again. Excellent. 125 words. Dazzler got well done. Yeah, I got a couple paragraphs edited. Added a new one here. Made a note, and I had an idea from my previous one to add to this. So instead of abandoning that, I just made a note, and when it came to it, I was able to put it in. Mine is above. Needed to find video. Running out of words for people and citizens as I have those words over 5 times. Okay, you're running out of words for people and citizens as I have those. Yeah, that is a good. I think I have that in one of my edits. Yeah, in my filter words edit, I do a word count, not like a total word count, but I check to see how many words of each that I'm using, and just to make sure that I'm not overly using one word too frequently. Okay. Oh. All right. So with the Pomodoro technique, after you've completed sprints, or a sufficient number of sprints, you can then take a long rest and then go forward. Usually with our morning marches during the week, where we do the 5 sprints, then the show is over. So were this any other day of the week, we'd be signing off at this time. What we're going to do, I'm going to take a short intermission, and we will skip the next sprint. So this will be considered our long break, and when I get back, we can chat, we can discuss things, but we will start our next sprint at 15 minutes after the hour. So in about 17 minutes, we'll start our next sprint. Stand up, stretch, refill your water bottles or coffee cups or whatever is your beverage of preference. So, yeah. Songbird, will you do push-ups? No, sorry. Wrong stream. Do whatever you need to do to get those the blood flowing, to get reinvigorated, and then we will start. Yes, you will. Awesome. 10. What? I don't know. I need to go over to your chat and give you some jailbird points or something. Will do. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to take a quick intermission. I'll be right back. We can chat, and we'll take this long break and then pick up the sprint. No, I will not. No. My shoulders, due to my girth that is hidden off camera, can't handle that. But I'm working on the girth issue, not as well as I would like, but yeah. All right, enough blathering. Take a break, and I'll be back in a couple minutes, and then we will start sprinting in 15. Thanks, everyone. Friday. How's everyone doing? Hope you're able to stretch and go to a window, stare intensely at something very far away. Being so close to the screen and the monitor, and right, my monitor for editing is right below me. So hopefully you can go look out a window. Just try to do that. Behind, tired, you're yawning is catch. I'm so sorry. Yeah, or do 10 push-ups. Actually, what I prefer to do is I go to the stairwell. I'm lucky enough to have 2 stories. I go up and down. Man, you haven't slept all night? Sorry to hear that. Yeah, that is rough. Yeah, my kids last night, a new movie came out on Disney Plus, but my daughter's been waiting for. Yeah, he says while yawning. Come on, give me a break. I'm old. It was Zombies 2. Disney, I think, is trying to reclaim the success they had with High School Musical, where they will make a bunch of movies with the same crew. They had, they had the high school ones. They had the Descendants, which I actually kind of liked Descendants. But then, so my youngest daughter loves this Zombies movie. It's got good music, stuff like that, but I was not interested in that at all. I spent the time updating my YouTube channels. So unless anyone else has anything to talk about, I have updated my YouTube. Oh, Dazzlecat, have fun enjoying that wet dog smell for the rest of the day. So what I would, so I was up, I was getting behind. Oh, James Woodwright, thank you so much for the host. I'm thinking of crashing. Yeah, no worries about that. This is a 3-hour stream. You come and go as you can. That's all. It's all good. It's all good. I got all of my videos from World Anvil Summer Camp uploaded onto my WriterGreg first drafts, and let's see. Let's go back to this screen. Hopefully, pardon any echo if there's an echo. Mute. There. Okay, I was able to mute. You need to be functional for tonight. New episodes of my shows are on and I hate getting spoilers. Totally can understand that. So, down here under the YouTube, well, I have nothing until... So, oh, good. Glad you could stay. So down here at the bottom, underneath here, thank you for the contributions of the lemon to the 1 million lemon challenge. So if you click these links or open them in new tabs, you will get my 2 YouTube channels. The one called WriterGreg First Draft is the one where I put replays of all of the VOD streams for after the 24-hour exclusivity that Twitch.tv requires of their affiliates. And then WriterGreg is, we're gonna get those lemons. Good. Then you can watch me yawn for 24 hours instead of just for 3. But because I don't stream on Sundays, it's just going to be funny because I'm going to start the stream at midnight my local time. So I'm going to sleep as much as I can Sunday evening, take a good nice nap Sunday evening, wake up and start streaming at midnight because technically I don't stream on Sundays, and technically at midnight it's no longer Sunday. So I really wish November 30th didn't fall on a Monday this year. I really did. I would do a different 24-hour cycle, but it's going to work out. So I would really appreciate everyone going over, clicking those links, subscribing, because I can get rid of this really ugly URL if I hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. And so I would really love to be able to get that so that I can. But I need your support. This is probably. I don't like having goals where I have to ask other people to do stuff because I like my goals to do it. So my goal is to ask everyone every stream to go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate you being here, but I want to be able to build both platforms so that it can help. Double subscribed, Secondhand Samurai. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And let's see. There we go. Thank you, Moonflower Rider. I really appreciate it. And for those who prefer the YouTube experience over the Twitch VOD experience, I promise, I will do better getting my VODs over there. Hopefully after my chores today. I have some family chores that I'm working on, but hopefully I will get more videos up there and start building out the other playlists. So thank you so much. And so please enjoy. I also have writer. No, I think if you go into the chat and you do #read. Yeah. Okay, if you do #read, you will see my free fiction link and also my World Anvil links. To go to World Anvil, then you have to click manuscripts and I think Dimitri's working on this, but you go here to my profile on World Anvil, and then you click manuscripts. And the two public manuscripts that I have right now is The Maiden's Request and The Runaway's Hope. And so that is, those are the two that I have freely available at World Anvil Manuscripts. And if you go to the free fiction, it's basically links to the same thing. But yeah, and then also a list of my published works if you want to support that way. So enough self-promotion. I really hope that I can earn your subscriptions over on YouTube, your follows here, and possibly even subscriptions. But that's not, you didn't come here for a break to listen to me ramble on about all of this stuff. But yeah, there are some great links. Oh, and the Google Calendar. I do have, this is my Google Calendar. If anyone is interested in a Google Calendar for notifications. Okay. So, my objective for this next batch of streaming is the same as the first batch of sprints. Hopefully everyone is getting ready. You're nice and limbered. You've had your break, biological or otherwise. Refreshed the beverage of choice. And we'll get ready to go. And Now, I don't have any alarms set up. I'm still looking for a better Pomodoro app. Not sure what I'm going to do with that. Not sure. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see with that. So I'm just going to go ahead. Since I don't have an alarm, I'm not going to wait the 1 minute. So let's get ready to sprint. I will open this back up. And all right. So, maybe one last thing. Sorry. If you want to track your sprints, !tracker in the chat window gives you access to a free Google Doc, Google Sheet that I use for tracking my writing sprints. I don't do it much for my editing sprints because you never know about the words. But if you're interested in having a copy of the word sprint tracker that I use, you just do !tracker. Okay. So now let us sprint. If I can find the app. There you are. Okay, start. Okay, there we have started. So we will turn the music up and microphones off, and I will see you in 10. All right, how did everyone do? One 116 words in 7 minutes. Puppy loves attention and demands it. I don't doubt that. Okay, there's some questions about the plotting structure that I use for my different scenes. Yes, I am still planning on giving that out, and yes, I can make it as a BB code that you can copy and paste into a generic article on World Anvil. This is a part of my website where I have writing advice. I am going to be creating an article, blog post, whatever you want to explain how I use it. Put that here in my writing advice, and we'll just and I want to give that a nice package of information. So yes, it is still planned for me to do. Scribblers got 0 words. Songbird 22 words, but quotes are always harder for me. 96. 1 plus 5 minus 1 minus 1 plus 90. I'm gonna trust your word on that math there, James. Okay, one thing I did want to do is show you a little bit of what I'm doing with the motivation reaction unit. And what I want to do is, in red, I'm going to circle all of the motivations that are driving this section of dialogue forward. So first of all, this is a conversation. Let me make that a little smaller. This is a conversation between Vola and Lev, the two main characters of the story. So all of I bold what I add. Oh, okay. Cool. So every time Vola talks in this conversation, it is a motivation. And so here we can see, okay, so then here, this right here is Lev's reaction. So we have a motivation by Vola, then we have a reaction. We have a reaction from Lev, and then in Lev's we have the feeling. Well, I don't actually have a feeling. I have a reflex. He reflexes to do that. He has a rational thought, and then he then takes a little bit of action. And this little bit of action that he takes then is a motivation for Vola to reply to. And so I changed this around because in the next paragraph, it was the gentle voice he remembered. That is a reflex. That is a reflex right there, the gentle voice that he remembered. And then we have the rational action and then speech. So then here's the action to see his long lost friend, and then the speech is there at the end. So that contains the 3 parts of the reaction. And then of course Vola reacts and provides another motivation. She brushes the dirt away from him. He sees an invisible form sitting into the dirt, and the dirt kind of a little bit. And then there's actually 2 paragraphs here. Let me draw that better. There are 2 paragraphs here in that motivation right there. Did I? No. Okay, pen mode. Okay, so there are 2 paragraphs, and using tip top, I separated that because it was a separate thing. Then he came back and he did his reaction. He stared at the tree, which is his either a feeling or a reflex, and then he did his rational speech. But because it's in the same thing, it's in the same tip top, it stays in the same paragraph. Then, of course, Vola responds. Her response doesn't have a feeling, doesn't have a reflex, it's only action. Because the point of view character in this scene is Lev, you can only have rational action or rational speech as a reaction of the other character. This is a third person deep POV, and so I keep that really, really tight. And so I can't know, or the reader can't know, what Vola is thinking because we're in Lev's point of view. And then I have the little joke of, no, I literally cannot see you. Okay, so that's just a quick breakdown of this dialogue using the motivation reaction unit, demonstrating how they bounce back and forth, but yet the description within it can still be consistent within an MRU to be able to tighten up your prose and make it more logical. Okay, so hopefully that was a good explanation, a good little break between our sprints. So let's get back to it. Yes, Moonflower Writer just used the command SS for the scene sequel to a link to explain all of that. Edith, welcome. Glad you made it back. We are about to start another sprint at the bottom of the hour. I am 2 minutes late because I don't have an alarm set for the rest of this, but thank you so much for coming. Keep writing, keep editing, keep brainstorming, do what you need to do as we turn the music up. We turn the timer. Of course, it's a quiet music when I turn it up. We turn the timer on. There we go. We turn the microphones off, and I'll see you in 10 minutes. All right, there we go. How did everybody do? Let's see. I will be going at 14:55. Sorry, military time. We use it in the UK. No worries. Thank you so much for coming by, James. Laura, you got a new emote. I don't see it, but I'm glad you got a new emote. That's great. Goodbye, Songbird. Belatedly. 115 words. Good job, James. Moonflower, you read the entire Writing the Perfect Singing article. Good job. Focused study. Yeah. Good job. I'm going to add a timer here for 5 minutes to remind me to start up the next sprint. So I'm working here on the conversation between Lev and Vola as they are continuing to talk. Edith, didn't really get much words as I was making new articles for freshly created characters. Nice. But that is still work that's really important to do, to get that organization so you can find that information faster. Really important. I'm realizing as I was working last night on the YouTube channels that there is a lot of stuff that you have to do behind the scenes to make YouTube and Twitch work that's not being on stream like this. And so that is something that I'm coming to realize, and that's a lot about reading or writing. Writing is not just sprint after sprint after sprint. There's editing, there's plotting, there's characterization, there's all that sort of stuff. Alas, there's going to be a ton of characters I need to make. Yeah, totally makes sense. Unfortunately, I'm working on my day job this weekend. I'm lurking in the background to bump your numbers and support your stream. Thank you so much. Don't get caught. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. Us writers, we need to stick together because it is kind of weird being on Twitch as a writer and as opposed to a gamer. There's not many writers on Twitch. Oh, working from home. Oh yeah, I do that a lot as well. Yeah, I work from home as well. Well, a lot of us are working from home, but I've been working from home for like 15 years. If not, no, 20? How long have I been working from home? Court drama means lots of people. I have to at least be aware as an author. Yet I have no idea how many are going to be important to a story. Okay, Edith, with your permission, I think I might skip the next sprint because I have something cool to talk about. Okay, let's see if I can do this without... All right. Let's get... This is my whiteboard. You know I'm being serious when I'm getting the whiteboard out. Okay, so we're just going to talk about... When you're talking about characters, and you're getting a lot of characters... let's see, how do I... Okay, so you have a lot of characters, and this is something I learned at a recent writing convention. So you have your POV character, and you have your antagonist. Antag, okay, or your protag. Okay, so you have your antag and your protag, and these are two of the important people that are in your story and the microphone. So when you have these two characters here, you can start putting in your other characters that you have within your story. So here you can start having, you know, friend 1, friend 2, friend 3, and friend 4, and then down here you start adding your, you know, enemy 1, enemy 2, enemy 3, enemy 4. Okay? So you have all of these characters that you're building into it. But the important thing, and to make a strong structure, what do you need? Okay? When building in architecture, and this is not my idea, I'm not claiming it as my own, but when you need to have triangles. So here with your protagonist and here with your antagonist, you have a relationship between the two. Okay? We're gonna skip that. Okay. You have the relationship between the two, but with your others, your friends that you have around here, you have a relationship with each of these. Okay? So with your relationship with each of these, this can be kind of boring because everything ties too much. Aren't there neutral characters? There can be. Okay, so good. Good question. We'll have neutral 1. We'll have neutral 2. Or, you know, I'm just using anyone. I'm not even certain who the central antagonist is. I already have 3 thought up, and that's from the Imperial family. Okay, I think that this can help you because take all of your characters that you're working out, draw them out on a piece of paper or a whiteboard like this, and start mapping out the relationships between them, because your protagonist still has a relationship here and your antagonist has a relationship here. Okay? And you can see wherever you have this triangle in here is a place for conflict or support or drama, because love triangles, as much as they are mocked or people not liking it, the triangle provides support or structure or depth to your different characters. And so you can go in here and say, all right, here, this is a strong triangle. This is a strong triangle. We have another triangle here. But then this neutral also has a relationship over here and over here. And these two neutral parties know each other. Okay? So as you define who the protagonist or the antagonist is, look to see who has the most relationships that have been established. Because if everybody is pointing to a specific character as the and has harmful relationships with that person, you know, maybe I shouldn't have been using black the whole time, you know, because if there was a negative, nope, don't like that tip. Okay, if there was a negative relationship here, but there's a positive relationship here, okay, look to see where the most negative relationships are in these triangles that you're drawing. And if you have someone out here, like a neutral 3, that has no relationships with anyone, get rid of them. Okay, you don't need that individual. And you can focus on which of your characters will be the protagonist, because they'll have the most blue or most positive relationships with people, and you'll know who your antagonist is because there's going to be the most red or negative relationships. And some of these relationships will be stronger, you know, some Some may just be worth a dotted line as opposed to a solid line, as opposed to, you know, this relationship here between the antagonist. You know, this is his trusted henchman, but this is just a lackey, so they only get a dotted line. This original concept comes from Lisa Mangum, who is the editor of Shadow Mountain Books, an imprint of Deseret Books located here in the Rocky Mountains. And this was a part of a master class that I went, that she hosted in a virtual writing conference in May, I think it was. So no, I did not come up with this idea. This is not my own idea. I don't know if I can make a post about it because it's her intellectual property, but I may be able to take a snippet from this, make a highlight out of this. So here we go. When you're trying to find your protagonist, when you're trying to do that, or the mushy middle, people worry about what to do in the second act. If you don't know what to talk about in your second act or to bump up, look for the triangles and add some tension. And especially with you, Edith, where you're having a royal court that has a lot of intrigue. You're gonna need to have a lot of you're gonna need to diagram it out and to see how they all relate to each other. And I would recommend you do this in something like PowerPoint. Let's put that down. I would recommend doing that in PowerPoint or Inkscape or a vector drawing program so that you can then move it around and do stuff like that. So, was that helpful, Edith? I hope it was. Good stuff. Yes. Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. I would love to be able to share everything that I have learned at writing conferences, at books I've read, articles I've read, outside of my lack of whiteboard. Well, that's why I'm recommending you can use Inkscape or PowerPoint so that you can... Yes, I have heard of Medium, and one of my in-person writing groups has a Medium blog. For which context are you referring, Scribblers? Like using it as a publication or something? I've made a penny off of it. Well, I don't feel right. I don't feel right that I would make money off of this other author's idea because I paid money to go to a special session, an advanced session during that writing conference, and this was the content that was being shared. So this Lisa does make money off of this presentation, so I don't want to... I love sharing stuff like that, but I don't want to do a whole presentation about it because it's not my idea and that stuff. It's like YouTube where you get paid per read and how long they read. That's cool. Yeah, I haven't thought of using Medium, but that's understandable. So over here, you could come here. You have your different characters. This is LibreOffice Draw. LibreOffice Draw is an open source alternative to Microsoft Office. It is free, and then you can go in here and, oops, not that one. You can then draw your relationships between the different characters, and then you can map it all out. And then you can edit it, adjust it, work it, and describe your different things. So yes, Adobe Illustrator is a paid proprietary version of Inkscape. I am an open source enthusiast, so I use GIMP, Inkscape, and other stuff. So, all right, okay, we skipped that that sprint. Hopefully you enjoyed that. You have CS4 and have no reason to upgrade. Okay. Yeah. I was never drawn into the Adobe world. My main computer that I'm not using right now is Linux. I stream off of a Windows laptop, but I just want to support the other stuff. So if you want to take that information that I've shared with you this morning, or to be able to start working on your characters or continue editing, we can do that. We have 2 more sprints. We can fit 2 more sprints in the half hour that is left in this stream. So those of you who are still there, we can do it. I was a senior graphic designer for Cox Communication. Oh, I'm jealous. I was so close to changing my major to graphic design back in college. Isaac, welcome. Welcome, Isaac. Thank you so much for rating. This is a treat because I'm usually not on this late. Hydrate, okay. The burning toast. Posture. Come on, Cuffy, you just jump in and start demanding things? Thank you so much. We have contributions by Coffee Quills, Delian, Edith, Dinosaur Bob, and a posture check from James. Yeah, thank you. I'll cut my head off now with the camera. Let me adjust that a little bit. Not too much. All right, so thank you so much for coming. Glad that everyone can be here. So let us get to another sprint. It is 1 minute past the top of the hour, so let's get that going. And I'm editing this morning, but you can write, you can edit, you can brainstorm, you can plot, you can mop your floor, like Laura Bones did earlier this morning. If you need to mop your floor, I'll turn up the tunes and you can get that chore done. The Pomodoro technique is for everyone. Have fun world building and editing, everyone. Okay. It's probably really late at night for you, Isaac. Yes. Have you cleaned your counters yet, Laura? If you've mopped the floor, have you moved to the counters? Because I have a garage. Yes, and did the dishes. I have a garage waiting for me to clean out when the stream's over. It's a bit late, and I'm going to restart the stream to play Minecraft, so I can stick around. All right. Well, I'm only going to be here for about a half an hour. Because I have chores I gotta do. Okay, so there we go. You didn't start. No. Stop. Wrong button. All right, Moonflower, enjoy your nap. I may take one later today because this is early in the morning. Okay, so let's turn up the music. Let's turn off the microphone, and I will see you in 10 minutes. Thanks, everyone. All right. How'd everybody do? Talking about some games. Can payments be withstanding? James, this will include the hours they have worked in the role so that they can work out what is withstanding. Huh. This sounds like an employee manual. This will include the hours they have worked in the role. I'd break this into 2 sentences. This will include the hours they have worked in the role, period. They can work out what is withstanding. Because if you take the second clause in your sentence as it is an dependent clause referring back to the hours they worked. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably split this in 2 sentences and then rework the second sentence to make it an independent sentence. Edith, I worked on figuring out characters' ages for the imperial family, or well, the emperor and his children. Haven't even started on his handful of wives. All right. Cool. All right. All right, we do have 11 people here. Or it says 11 people. I don't know how many actually are here. You never know with these. Yeah, because it says I have 2 people in my chat, but there's 11 viewers. All right. Thank you so much for everyone for being here. We do have one more sprint ahead of us, and hopefully those of you who have stuck with me so far will be able to stick with me one more. This has been a special double episode of Morning Marches, and we will continue to do this on Saturdays. The 90-minute show will be Monday through Friday. The 3-hour show will be on Saturdays, both starting at the same time, so that we can help anyone. Weekend writing warriors can have some more time. Replays of this stream will be available practically immediately on twitch.tv and will be available 24 to 36 hours if I do better at remembering to upload them over to youtube.com. And please, I have the links to my 2 YouTube channels somewhere down there in the panels below. I would love to be able to have 100 subscribers over there at youtube.com, because then I can claim a username. Be quiet, phone. Then I can claim a username so that I'm not using these ugly long character strings. I would love to be able to do that so that I can name my channels and make it easier for people to find me. So if I've earned your support over here, I would greatly appreciate that, to have some support over there. Okay, yes, I will be returning Monday morning at 4:30 a.m. Pacific, and whatever your time zone is. There's a link to the calendar in the sections below, and I will be Monday evening stream is a Making Media Monday, where I will be drawing a second book cover for my Runaway's Hope. So that is what is going to be. I'm going to be working on Monday evening. So if you want something that's completely different, where I use GIMP, which is a free Photoshop, to try to make a book cover placeholder until or unless I can hire someone professional, but it's a short story. I'd rather learn how to do it myself because it's fun. So, all right, we're getting a little late. Let's do our last 10-minute sprint of the morning and get on it. So, here we go. Hopefully everyone can either wrap up what they're working on, or you can keep sprinting after I'm gone, because that's a thing. So let's turn the music up, turn the microphones off, and I will chat with you in 10. And there we go. The last sprint of the morning. Thank you for the hydrate check and the save check. Make sure everyone save your work. And there's one bottle down for the day. All right. Thank you so much for everyone for joining me today. A good Aaron, glad to see you here. Thanks for the contributions of Lemon to the 1 Million Lemon Challenge. Let's take a gander at the total. Can I program during in this sprint? Black Maggot, welcome. Words can I program during in these sprints? Oh, so you're working on a program? Okay. Hey, code is just another language. All right, so we are at 139,586 lemons. Awesome. We are 13% the way to our 1 million lemons, about 500 away from 14%. So we are doing awesome. Thank you so much. Please ignore the how many days that are left. All right, 824 words for your section. All right. So I will close that off. All right, cool. Good job. So let's change the camera. All right, thank you so much for everyone who stopped by through this long stream. We will continue. I had fun. I was able to get a lot done. 1.5 scenes edited with MRUs, which was really good, and for me anyway. So thank you so much for letting me be productive on this morning. I hope that you are being able to be productive as well. Scheduling. Please remember, there's no schedule tonight. It is Saturday, hence the double stream in the morning. I will not be streaming on Sunday, but I will be back Monday morning, 4:30 a.m. Pacific, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time for morning marches, where we will do 90 minutes worth of marches. Monday evening will be Media Making Monday, where we work on a book cover. So thank you. So I hope that everyone who is here enjoyed it. I hope everyone here is following me. I hope that I earn your follow, and if I earn your subscription, I greatly appreciate it. Follow me over on YouTube, and use the links down below for some more information. So thank you so much, and let's figure out someone to raid. Who do we have? Let me switch over here. The problem, sometimes I don't get vice versa. All right, let's see who is. Hey, Black Maggot, are you streaming right now? It says you're streaming. I would prefer to support someone who is doing something similar to writing before I go over to gaming, because you came here for writing and I want to send you off to someone else who might be writing, though I know my options are limited as far as Twitch goes. Let's see. Is anyone on the Anvilite Streamer Core? Get my link here. Anvilite Streamer Core. See if anyone is scheduled for this morning. Yeah, hanging out with the Black Maggot. Okay, so I do want to support members of the Anvilite Streamer Core, and so let me pull up there. All right. So I am going to go over. I am going to go in here and type in the raid command. Is that working? No, it's because it's slash, not exclamation point. All right, there we go. Getting ready for the... Remember, if you stick with the raid and go through over to Black Maggot Checking, you will get bonus Lemon Channel points that can be contributed to the 1 Million Lemon Challenge. Thank you so much to everyone who joined. Thank you to the Andalite Streamer Corps for supporting this channel, and also for everyone here who has contributed lemons, points, bits, subscriptions. I couldn't do it without you, and this is a lot of fun. Thank you so much, everyone. I will see you Monday morning for more morning marches and writing sprints. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.